Hey, what is up? Welcome. Day 13, I believe, of Building Master Minutes, and we're going to jump straight into it. I'm starting a little bit late, and I'm going to have to leave a little bit earlier today. So it's going to be a short stream, an hour and a half. I think probably do an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. Not sure. We'll see how that goes. Yesterday, well, not yesterday, the day before, when we was last working on this, I was working on this scrolling sidebar effect, which is the left hand side. I think we're gonna park that. It works to what we want. There's a few little bugs and stuff that I could tweak, and also we're not calculating the height dynamically, which means when stuff changes, which inevitably will, that height is gonna change, and there'll be some bugs at some point. Another little bug I've noticed as well, you don't really notice it when you're using a mouse with a scroll wheel, but when you're using trackpad, you can scroll beyond the view. And you kind of end up with this bit of a weird thing where this is actually position fixed. When you can scroll it, it's not position fixed, but once it's moving with the scroll, it is position fixed. So there's a few little tweak issues like that, but it works. It kind of does what we wanted it to for now. That was a big time sink, and I don't really want to sink too much more time in it, because actually it's a really minor detail and doesn't really add too much to the whole experience, so never mind, we'll move on and leave on for that. I think the goal today, and we'll see how far we get with that goal, is going to be to actually make this part. This is just a static HTML mockup right now, so we want to get this hooked up into our controllers and actually part of the experience that you kind of click through. And so that's going to be the plan there. We have ads starting just now. I did reduce the frequency on the ads. They were happening every half hour last stream, and it was just a little bit too much. We are running ads just to make sure that the pre-roll, people don't get pre-roll. So with that out of the way, I think what we'll do is we'll jump straight into the code. We're not touching that pinned element controller JavaScript because we just spent too long there. Now let's jump into our views. At the moment we've got this like demo view, and that's where all of our code for our view is. And we need to figure out where it's all going to go. So we've got a few things going on, I suppose. All of this view really needs to be, the header can't go in the application HTML because the header has a bunch of stuff in here, like these header controls, like the title. Perhaps they could go in the thing. I'd have to have some sort of named slot that I can put stuff into. Not really sure. And this section here would definitely need to be filled in. I wonder... It would be nice to get some of this stuff, because it's all the same. The other option is to render a... put that into a partial, like header partial. That might work. Let's just see. Let's ask ChatGPT. In Rails, can I have my template put a slot, a chunk of HTML into the application HTML template? I have a header, and in application.html.erb, and in my view template I want to inject something into that header. That's kind of what we want to do. Is that a thing? Content form and yield. That's what I thought. I thought there was a content form. So I can yield header content and then I can offer header content up. So let's try that maybe. And then if there isn't any, I guess it just wouldn't render it and that would be fine. Okay, so open up our application HTML ERB. We've got this going on. We're going to leave the notice in there for now. We'll add a note to ourselves to kind of get rid of that. And what we're suggesting, I think, is that the header is going to go in here. Now this is going to break our welcome view. I think we'll have to just deal with that. We'll probably need a separate template or something for that, maybe. Need to figure out what I want to do with that. But for now, there's kind of two chunks. There's this place, content 4, and then there's this chunk down here. Now this chunk we definitely want to do this, so we'll just yield. You just yield the symbol. That's interesting. Yield header content. Header controls. And then in here, we'll essentially do header controls. Is that right? Yeah. And then we just stick the So that's kind of how that's supposed to work. It seemed to work. So that's quite nice, as in that just allows us to specify, okay, like here's the HTML for the header controls. I think I'll also need to do something for this. How do I want to do that? I guess. Also, I'm curious, how do some of the other views look like meetings now? Cool. Makes sense. Not sure what's going on here. What's this? Oh, this is because the header has the after. I probably do want to set the header after to this like header controls, because that only needs to be present if that thing is present. Let's see, header CSS after. Can I just do it on the header controls? Or is this gonna be? Because obviously it's not there because that's not present. Yeah, that's what I was worried about. All of this is spaced according to the thingy. So now that kind of block that hides it all is gone. I would have to recalculate the heights and stuff. We'll deal with that another time. I don't want to get distracted by something like that. It just means that these screens are going to have it. And I'll need to figure it out. But you can kind of see it's applying everywhere. Obviously it's blocking up a lot of this stuff at the top. That'll be fine once we get the next part in. Let's go back to our demo. I guess what we'll do yield here is kind of the page header, and in this case it's just this, and then we'll have another kind of content for page header to got our page header, our kind of page controls maybe. Kind of don't like that this is called header controls, page controls. Controls. I think controls is fine. Yield the controls. Or like toolbar perhaps. And then kind of give this a concept of like being a toolbar for that section. You can stick stuff into the panel above basically. Let's go back to our demo. We want to make sure that our demo still works. It does. Our next section down here, kind of got this thing with the main, and I think I can probably stick that down here. Not there, that's the wrong place. Okay, we've got double mains, so we'll have to clear out that and that. And how are we looking across the board? So if we went to meetings now, inside here, and if we went to like one of those meetings, like everything's happening inside of this now, which is much better. Kind of moving closer towards having the layout working. Now that we can do that, let's make link at the top work. Link to all meetings are. I never remember which way around it is. Is it? Yeah, there we go. And then we'll set the class. No underline text Pelorus 600. So now we navigate to this, we can click all meetings and go back to the meeting. Then how are we doing? So what have we got? We've got this. That's where we're going to have our thing. The wave, I don't think we necessarily need. And then we will kind of want control over like what goes in the box. Like this. And so I think actually this is probably it. Do we want the wave as part of the application HTML ERB? It's a bit much, and it's also breaks up the page because it's too tall on that page. Cool, and put that back. Relative columns. Okay. So now we can take these things at the very least, and we'll go over to the meeting or underscore show on the meetings perhaps. How does this work? We've kind of got a bunch of stuff going on. A bunch of stuff. I don't think we necessarily need to render the underscore meeting partial like we're doing here. Perhaps let's bring in some of these things, because these will at the very least allow us to kind of render stuff like the meeting title. Does that work? Or is it name? Might be name. Can I hover on this and it doesn't know? Live at Railsbar 23. So now that name is reflective of the name there. Nice. And the recording can be the... that's if there is one. There might not be one. And so if there isn't one, well, there isn't one. We probably don't need to render this section. Let's just take a look at our meeting bit here. At the moment, we render the meeting name, and then that's it. But then if there is a recording, so what we're doing here basically is the same as like if meeting.recording. And then we're doing at meeting.recording. Recording.file. If there is one, and there is one, so that's why it renders that. So that's that. I'm gonna keep these in here. I think perhaps let's just see what happens if I stick these here. Fine. That still works. Back to meetings, takes us to the all meetings. We can go through that and destroy, obviously. We'll destroy the meeting. We need to figure out where those are going. I think they're probably going up in this section actually in the end. And this will be a turbo frame. We'll figure that out shortly. That's those things. If there isn't a recording, then we need to upload the recording. But that's going to happen in this next section. So that's this. And I think we'll just have to render that form. I don't think it's worth doing a turbo frame tag there because actually like this is gonna completely change the UI when that happens. So let's discard that for a second and then let's grab kind of all of this stuff. Don't need anything in that section. Kind of don't need these pinned element. And then flow on that one. And then what we'll do is we will that's for the thing because the edit recording I guess this is like the meeting dot transcription, or is it the recording? Recording as a transcription that gets created. Yeah. So recording dot transcription data. But again, this is like only if there is a transcription. I need to break some of this stuff down at some point, but we're kind of pulling it in quite quickly. This only exists if there is a transcription as well, so that's another thing that could only be there in that situation. It looks like we're probably rendering the editor then, but then the input is wrong. I remember there being something weird about the JSON, perhaps. Like this being JSON.generate. Let's check the transcription form. What's going on here? What was it before? Before I did all of that. What was it? It was a transcription. In fact, I could have just looked at the demo, couldn't I? The demo said it was transcription.lat data. So that is a transcription for that recording. It's a little odd. We can go back to the test one. The test one works. Something about the data in here. Oh no, that does. This is an old one. I hadn't got thingy. This is the one that I was working on previously. Those buttons that are there are stuck. But once you scroll all the way to the bottom, it's there. I think what would be good to see perhaps is if I create a new meeting, test, create a meeting. There isn't a transcription because obviously it doesn't exist. Because the recording doesn't exist. Is it question mark or is it? It's and, isn't it? I think on here. We'll go back to that test one. And now it doesn't render any of the controls. That's not necessarily what I wanted, because actually the thing is just for the audio tag. I still need the controls to be able to although we'll see. I probably easier actually for now. I move this set of things, this cluster, into here. And then this still does need rendering because it is the top. It's just the there we go. And then I guess it's interesting actually because I can, with this content full, potentially just stick this here, right? Where it would be in the thing. But it kind of is the toolbar across the thing, so it makes more sense up there. And second foot. This is hacky. I don't like this. But it's what we're gonna do. In fact, can I not just do like what is it? Tag div class h 54 pixels. Is that right? Oh, I need to end it though. Because now it's like wrapping. How to render a div with Ruby. Like helper or something. No children. I don't know. Content tag. Content tag. Yeah, so that's pretty much what I thought. Let's do content tag then. There we go. Kind of. Yeah. I shouldn't be doing that. That's a bit weird. Oh, because the second bit is like the content. You don't need to do that if you do the... This gets me closer to what I want, and then I can just do, yeah, meeting.recording. I get it on one line then rather than having multiple lines. It's kind of the point of what I was trying to do there. So it's gone. Tag.div. Okay, this works. I'm quite happy with the content thing. Edit takes back to this screen. Go this meeting takes back to that screen. Back. No meeting loaded. Okay. Sweet. Okay. Cool. If there's no meeting, I need a way of uploading the meeting. Render. Can I get thingy to do something for me? Render form for recording. Is ChatGPT? There we go. Partial for recording. And then like the form for the recording is here, and it just takes the recording. Let's see. This feels weird, but I don't want this to be how this is. Can I just do like meeting.recording.create or something? Ruby create versus build, is it? I think it might be build. Returns instance not saved. That saves. I don't want it saved. I want to build a new recording that it can use for the form. Do I have? Yeah, I didn't close that off. Recording. Meeting dot recording dot Or is it build recording? Yeah. Build recording. Again, what? Where does this keep going? I keep losing a bracket. Okay. There's the recording. If no at meeting.recording. There's no recording on that one, but then if I go to like test, this has a recording, so it shows it. There's no. I don't need the back to meetings because the button at the top is the back to the meeting. I'm gonna make this the turbo frame, I think. Go round. Looks a bit. Obviously, the header changes height because when you add the title in, there's no title on this view. Let's just fix that quickly. Well, this is a weird one anyway, right? Because it's all meetings would have been a weird one. And then where do I add the new meeting button? This view needs working out anyway. I might not have the background. Haven't decided. I thought I added padding. No, I didn't. So as I start doing stuff up here, it's going to break this kind of sidebar bit, but that'll be interesting. Fine, so I upload a recording. Just a minute. Out. Now somewhere we have our, I don't believe it in temp. Where is it? Spec, fixtures, files. I'm going to create this and it's going to try and submit it to thingy for creation. I want to suppress that for a second. Transcription models. I'm going to upload it and then our recordings here. We navigate to our recordings rather than staying on our meeting. What's that meeting? And then that's never going to get created because I never actually did the thingy. And because there's no transcription yet, it doesn't show. Because it didn't. Oh, it only does this when we create the transcription. We kind of need. We had a button to then start transcribing. I think is what we did, right? I need to figure out how this view is supposed to work. I can probably fit most of it in a turbo frame and have the turbo frame responsible for navigating a lot. And the toolbar is also going to need to be targeted, and then I can have stuff, sticking stuff in there, I think is how that's going to work. Let's move these buttons out and put them up in this. Turbo frame tag, and this is gonna have to be what is this gonna have to be? This is like page header, I guess. It's a bit bizarre. Oh, I've not got dude there, that's why. So this isn't a turbo frame with page ID. And then what we're gonna do is the edit link is gonna go up here. Edit. And we'll just have it as a link for now. See what that looks like. Edit. Content missing. Cool. That goes to our edit meeting part. Edit meeting, which is just going to render the form for the editing meeting. Do I then do turbo frame tag page header to how that works? Content missing. Does this need to be equals? Yeah. Obviously this view is a bit weird, and now I need to change the form for meetings. And then this show this meeting, I am already showing the meeting and I don't need the back to the meetings, so it's almost like cancel or submit, which is like edit, and then I think they might still want to be clustered. Cluster. I think I can probably get this up here. Oh. Center has to be down. Okay, that goes there. Refresh, edit. Still not working. The cluster doesn't work with that. I think that's because actually it's like align center, or is it justify center? Because now it's in a flex box. Yeah, justify center. I think this is going to have a class of like visually hidden. What was that? What it was called? No, I always forget what that was called. It's in our meeting, in our show HTML for our meeting. SR only. SR only. And then we kind of go back. Why is the content missing there? Because it shouldn't be. Okay, let's clear this out. Do update. What did it return back with? Editor? Is this returning the partial? So the easiest way of seeing that will be that we go to our meeting controller and on our update we redirect to the meeting URL with that meeting and say the meeting was successfully updated. Did the meeting URL redirect should be the show of the, not that one, show of the meeting, which should have content for the page header. But if we're not I don't think we, because that view didn't have wherever my thing's gone. It's probably gone now, isn't it? Yeah, it's gone. Why can we just dock this? Okay. So we'll refresh, we'll clear, we'll edit, we'll delete that, update. 302 found. This response doesn't have it has this stuff, but it doesn't have the header. Like the head's been stripped. And in fact, all of the application body, like all of this HTML head body here, stripped out. Well, it wasn't stripped out, it was just never there. And so, because we're using content for, it never gets loaded in. Which is kind of annoying. Yeah, that's annoying. How do I solve that? Okay. Okay, I have my content for and yield working. I now have a turbo frame in my ball. It works Okay, but when I redirect back to the page where submit my form in turbo frame in the content pool, the head never gets yielded and the turbo frame errors. What was it erroring with? With content missing. I know how the turbo frame's meant to be working. What's happening is we render the page like so. We click edit. That makes a request for the edit, which has this response, which has the turbo frame inside of it. We then click update, and then we get this response back. We redirect back, and again, the HTML isn't rendered. I do wonder if I make a specific controller for like the meeting title section, and then I render that partial in the turbo frame, and then that frame can just return that stuff, and I don't have to worry about like where it is coming from. That makes sense. So like I could have like a meetings title controller, and it just renders like the show on that, and then the edit and stuff. The other option is on here. So formats HTML return redirect to the meeting. Fine. If it's a turbo stream, we can replace. Replace here, I think it's actually like the thingy. So this is like the page header. Method has too many lines. Piss off. Sorry, did I say that out loud? Metric slash method length. Rubocop. Enabled. Oops. Go away for a sec. It's like saying replace the page header with the meeting form partial with that new meeting. So now when I do this, it's like update, and it does the page replace on that. But then what I really want to do is perhaps have like a form which is like header .html.erb. Which is basically just going to be this, right? Render at meeting partial header. Is that right? Or is it meeting header, locals, meeting? I'm expecting an error. Missing partial. Oh yeah, of course it's underscore header. No, it is. Meetings. Oh yeah. Can I not just pass that meeting to that? One of the keys. Fine, so that's passed into there. The header then doesn't need that, it can just use those. I'm gonna find a variable local meeting. Local. Oh, sure. Single text or back text? I never really know which one on these. There we go. I do feel like actually like where I'm going with this, because now I've just noticed that's the other bit. This one, if you edit and then click cancel, it's a link to the meetings, and therefore it probably needs to be. I don't know how I'd solve that. Can't really do a turbo frame replace there. So it probably makes more sense to have like meta, have a specific controller for like meeting meta. The other option here is like modal. Meetings. Let's see what it looks like on this one. Edit, cancel. And then obviously destroy is there. Now I've got this like dodgy partial that's kind of there. But really I could have like a meetings meta controller.rb and then a class of meetings meta controller application controller. And this is probably very similar to what's in here. Except you can't destroy the meeting meta. You can't create meeting meta. You can show it and you can edit it and you can update it, and there's no index either. So edit and update. This isn't right. To meeting, this is all going to be like /1/meta. /meta. It's not all because we're not doing that anymore. No. That's probably what we want. Otherwise we're rendering edit again. And then we'll go into our roots and we'll say for our meetings, there should be a meta controller. Can I do like meetings? Is that right? Did I have a meetings meta controller? How do I get my routes to load it? Is it the scope or is it the namespace? What's wrong with my roots? Scope module. Is there a better way? No, none of those things are what I want. Scope. Okay. So basically what it's saying is I've got to do scope module meetings do. Scope module meetings do that end. And then we don't need this. Can't find a meeting without an ID. It's there. Is it because it's like meeting ID or something? And now we're missing the meetings meta controller. Should have views meta show. Is it? It's because we've done module maybe. Namespace. Ruby roots. Need to check the thing. Controller namespaces in routing. Namespace admin do. You instead want to route to articles without prefix admin. So I don't want my thing to be like admin/articles, and we're already in a thing. So really what I want to do is the scope. And then I could have just done that as that, which is what I wanted to do. Module meetings. Now if we go back to here, could be the same error. It is good. Oh no, I want this one. Still fine. Next problem is that I imagined it would be looking, maybe it is looking, it just isn't telling me it's looking there. Meetings, new folder, meta, show.html drb. And then the underscore header can go here. Undefined method or variable meeting. But it must be loading at meeting. Yeah, so these need to have that app because they're now not. Cool. So they're the meta. Underscore form.html.erb. I can now have a bunch of stuff here, including the edit.html.erb, render form, was it just those? Show, edit, and the form? And then I guess we can get rid of this header because it's kind of the same. It's just the meta. And in our show, we're now rendering the meetings meta show. Or actually, let's just do the underscore meta.html.erb. Because then that's this bit, and then I can just also do that same thing that I was doing in that show, which is this. Meeting. That renders a turbo framer and a form. Hopefully it's that form. I don't know if I have to specify the form. I might have to specify the exact form there. This isn't show, this is meta. Same here, right? I don't even know anymore. I don't know what we're. How do I know anymore? Test. Okay, fine. So that is where that is. The form. If I edit, that's not the right form, and that's because the show or the underscore meta links to the edit meeting meta path. The form doesn't go to the right place. Because now we've lost the form, so we know we're interesting here. This test isn't centered. Oh, because the max width. Isn't it? Okay, cool. Yeah, I need to specify the URL then. It's kind of the point. But path help with the idea of the meeting. There, but we're going to be doing it to the update meeting meta path meeting. Is that right? No, it's not right. Something went wrong. Very wrong. What did it say? Other than something went wrong. Something went really wrong. Oh. I missed a comma. That's what went really wrong. And then that's what I expected. Update meeting meta path. No, I thought that might be a problem. Edit meeting meta path. Oh, it's just meeting meta path, isn't it? Because I don't need to. The verb is the bit that changes that part. And now that I've does everything with inside the meta, I can get rid of this form bit. I can get rid of the test bit here. Now we edit. You can change it and save it. Notifies that at the top. That's sweet. Sweet. If I cancel, that's the next bit. This goes to the meeting meta path. That meeting. Edit, cancel, edit, and cancel. And all that navigation happens within that turbo frame. So even if you're like midway through listening to the audio, it doesn't affect it. Sweet. Sweet, sweet, sweet. I wonder about the delete as well. I guess it probably makes sense to delete there in this meta. Delete. Justify center. So then you can edit, delete. And then this can be form submit, and it will be update. I kind of don't want that to be a button. Kind of annoying. I can click on meetings. I can go back here. I can see that one. I can edit it, cancel, and go on meetings. I don't love it, but it kind of works. And then if I create a meeting, this form here can kind of go back being whatever it was, because this form is used for creating the meeting. Test. And then these forms are used for that part, because they're different forms, so it makes sense to have a different controller. They might have different rules, they might have different inputs at some point, but the meta is controlling that section. No meeting. Blank meeting. And then this is like a recording. Back to meeting makes no sense in that context. Editing meeting. I'm just going to delete that. I don't have editing meeting anymore. Controller. Not editing. And arguably we don't do this either. Right now. So I'll delete that. We also got rid of the JSON route a while ago, so we'll clear that up. And now there is no edit and there's no update. There is only show and destroy where we've set those. Sweet. This form with a recording. There's no back to meeting. And I think what we'll do here is perhaps even cluster that into that. Make it all one. Then perhaps we can just add class flex1 to that. Make that fill the height. So annoying that these don't fit right, but hey ho. All meetings. This isn't clear enough, I don't think, right now that that's a link you can click. I need to figure that out at some point. The other thing that feels like a natural link is perhaps the this bit up here. And so what I'd do for that is we'll just do link to meetings path class cluster and gap small do end, and then we'll clear those out. That takes its place. Now I've got an underline, do no underline. So now I'm in here and click on that. I'll go back on here, click that, I'll go back. Bank meeting uploaded, and then the test. And then the demo is still working. Yes. And also the root is the one that's going to break the most. Maybe not. The root fine. Not sure why it doesn't round off at the bottom, but hey ho. I think this is like a cover, right? So actually not bad. Let's just fix up the meetings like index HTML, and this just needs a P large or something just to give it a bit of padding at the very least. So Yep, I think I've got a few ideas about how this page could look, but for now it's fine. So we create the meeting, it looks like this. Well, create the meeting here. Again, that page needs fixing up. That is the new class V3XL. All meetings, new meeting. Let's just set base CSS where the input background will be white. Hello world. Okay, you can see it now. Edit this meeting doesn't work on that, so let's just go into the index. Actually, edit the meeting bit. Edit the meeting. Doesn't exist anymore. That's the only place this is shown now, so we'll kind of tidy that up. When you click on the meeting, it takes you to here. Here, create the recording, then it will take you to this. There should be a button here to generate the transcript, and then it should take you to this. With transcript. Okay. Blank meeting with transcript with recording. Blank meeting with transcript with recording. I guess one thing I can do here is like be like 1 and then blank meeting, and then you do 2 with the recording, and then you do 3 with the transcript. 1, 2, 3. That's kind of the flow at the moment. This one I'm just going to delete because the delete action doesn't seem to work. On the meta, there's a delete method delete for the meeting. Oh no, it did delete it. Then said, there's nothing I can do. I think it needs to escape, so I need to set the parent path be out the bounds of the scope. Okay. It's jumping around a bit too much, and I think I need to create some consistency there. And so, I mean, stuff like this I need that. CSS needs tidying up. But then also this needs height. I'll figure out like a min height perhaps that works out well there. But I think the one thing that we've not got at the moment is the ability to generate the transcript. We've lost that somewhere along the way. I think it's here, yeah, because we're not rendering out this recordings anymore. Yeah, so I need to then generate the transcript. Some of these aren't being used anymore, so I need to have a think about some of that. But let's just go quickly into our meeting show. Else. Hey Roswan, how's it going? Let's just see. I think I'm just gonna throw this here, perhaps. Generate transcription if there is a meeting recording and there's no meeting.recording.transcription. It's a bit long. Recording. Meeting.recording. Go nice somehow without studying final exam is going smooth. Nice. Are you taking your final exam right now, or is it broken up into stages or something? No route matches. I need to stick this and this if condition needs to come out perhaps. Is that coming through on the audio? No, there's just some loud noise in the background. I hate when I do that. If there is a meeting recording and there's no meeting recording transcription, then it's going on one on the 12th and another one on the 20th December. Those exams and assignments. Nice. That's cool. Good luck. This one doesn't have a meeting recording, which is why it's complaining, because it's like, oh, I can't match this route, but there's an if condition around it. So it should only be calling that if there was a meeting recording. Perhaps we do if that meeting recording. Perhaps if there's no meeting recording, else if it's ELS if, isn't it? Yeah. There's no meeting recording, then we're gonna render the upload form to upload the meeting recording. Once we've uploaded the recording, we'll then have the recording, but if there's no transcription, then we need to render the button for the transcription. There's our blank meeting. There's our recording. And there's our transcript. Nice. Sweet. Here's just oh, this is because there's negative margin on that to make it work with the scroll. Looks a bit weird now though. That's fine though. What about the one where there was just that? That's fine. Sweet. This form still needs to be plugged into an actual form rather than doing what I'm doing there. Yeah, my back hurts. Wait. Kind of just clicking around now, thinking. I do that a lot while I'm building stuff. I feel like I need to figure this flow out a little bit more. I feel like I'm choosing which to render here. It's like, do I render the recording form, or do I render the recording view, or do I render the transcription view? Kind of like choosing which one to render there based on the status and the flow. There's also a bit of a weird, you click this button, and then you wait. Let's go to our proc file, I guess, and bring up local tunnel. And we'll just do, I'm gonna have to wrap up shortly. I have to head off. But we create a new meeting, test flow. We're going to test the flow, create the meeting. We choose a file, we upload it, we click create recording. Takes us to the wrong place, so that's not something we want to do. So we'll delete that, we'll go back and test flow. We're back to this step. Our form for our recording, actually our recordings controller, when we create, we redirect to the meeting recording URL. I think we just redirect to the meeting URL. Is going to be the better option there, don't we? Unless we were in a turbo frame, then that's where that flow might make more sense. But it's probably just easier to say, okay, like, we're going to upload this, we're going to redirect to this view, and then the recording was created. That would reset this. We could put this in the turbo frame though. Then we click generate transcription. That's now sudden that off. But that also ought to go into here. And then one of the things we're doing in our meeting path here at the moment that we need to consider is the transcription status. If we show the transcription as this, show the meeting. It's actually the meeting.recording.transcription status in progress. I think a turbo frame probably does make sense here. And then I can render all of these views as kind of the sub-nested things. I guess one of the things I wanted to do on the show, on the transcription, or actually even the underscore transcription, or, well, it doesn't even do it here, but show on the meetings is perhaps just something that just doesn't show this stuff until the status is complete. But yeah, that will be say in progress. I don't really have any way of telling you when it's done. I can just show a spinner, but it would be nice to have it auto live update once the transcription is updated. And I think for that, we're going to use some turbo streams and subscriptions and stuff. Yeah. And the other ones, this one, where it's got the thing, it's status completed. This one, ending dispatch because I cheated. That's in progress, so. But once that's done, it should get us to a state that looks like this. Fine, and then that's going to be a turbo frame, I guess, where you can navigate through that stuff. Don't know about the side panels. The side panels are going to be interesting. I guess they're kind of related, but kind of not, I suppose, in some ways. So I'll have to figure that out. Oh, there was a webhook controller error here. Undefined method variable for transcription on the transcriptions webhook controller. Yeah, where's transcription coming from? Is that meant to be a capital T? No, where's... When did that change? There, I can type properly. Oh, that's annoying. When did that break? App controllers. I'm gonna have to head soon. Let's just see the diff. Add ability to edit the transcript. Ah, of course. Because then I changed it. What was it before that though? If I go on that file, can I look at the history? What I want to do is that, right? But I destroyed the find by S3 event. And also, it's not, I don't want to JSON parse it anymore. I want to pass in the generated JSON directly. Transcription, define self.find by string event. Is that what it was? Yeah, and ideally that goes up there. Is that complaining about where it is? No. Find by S3 event. Oh yeah, of course. You can't have... recording ID. What's going on here? Is that kind of the... free event. Okay. Anyway, that's kind of broke that flow. I need to go on to console, AWS. What am I doing? SMS. Sorry, I was doing this off screen because I was logging in, but you can see what I'm doing. SNS, master minutes transcriptions. This one. What I was looking for was that thing. See whether its status had gone through. Is it still? Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it thinks it's delivered it, or maybe it's going to deliver it in a bit. Either way, I'm going to have to wrap up because I'm overrunning. So I apologise. I'll be on tomorrow. It's looking good. It's coming together slowly but surely. We've mostly moved from this static HTML demo and we've moved it into something that we can actually navigate around and click through and link and navigate through and kind of interact with. So I just need to make sure the flow is kind of coming together, and then we'll be kind of moving on a couple of different directions. There's a few things that still want to kind of pick up. We need to be able to identify speakers, mark those speakers, have the names of participants on the right hand side, and then left hand side we'll need to think about agenda points and stuff, and then of course the very bottom of the screen generating the minutes and going through that flow there as well. So lots to do, but all very exciting. I think, yeah, we'll pick up next tomorrow and work out where we go next with that stuff. But thanks for watching. Hope you're enjoying following along, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.
I'm sick with excitement. You can seem so violent. Fire when